The Syrian army continues to gain more ground in parts of Aleppo previously held by rebels, and government troops suspended fighting on Thursday to allow civilians to leave the city. Our correspondent, Abraham, is in Aleppo and sent us this report.
We're standing at Bab al-Hadid crossing that separates between the old parts of the city of Aleppo and the more modern parts of Aleppo, and this is one of several crossings that civilians are using to leave eastern Aleppo and come into the government-controlled western sector of the city. You can see behind me these civilians have just been evacuated. They are being moved using trucks, buses and other means of transport. Some of them have no credentials, some of them has absolutely no money, they don't have anything. Those people will be taken to makeshift shelter centers that the Syrian government established around Aleppo to accommodate thousands of civilians who are leaving Aleppo or eastern Aleppo every day. Other people had relatives, and their relatives came to this area, picked them up, and now they're living with their relatives. The situation in Aleppo is developing very, very quickly. The Syrian army seems confident it will be able to retake the city by military means before the end of 2016. Other Syrian army officers are more optimistic. They say they could take the city within weeks, if not days. And there are reports here that we're hearing in Aleppo that there are ongoing negotiations between the Syrian government and the rebels to allow rebels a safe way out of eastern Aleppo. But the senior commander, the commander of all Syrian army operations in Aleppo, told CCTV that the only way for insurgents to leave eastern Aleppo is by abiding by the terms of the Syrian government, or else they will be eliminated. Tens of thousands of civilians are still being trapped by the fighting inside eastern Aleppo. They told us that some rebel factions prevented them from leaving, shot at them when they tried to leave. Some rebel factions took their credentials and ID cards in the hope that Syrian authorities would pick them up as soon as they leave eastern Aleppo and they would be arrested. Others say that they had sons who fought alongside the rebels and they were afraid of prosecution or detention, but they decided to leave anyway. Others said that they had to leave because of the ongoing fighting, violence, shelling, and the living conditions inside eastern Aleppo, according to these families, is extremely tragic. No food, low supplies of water, absolutely no electricity unless you have a lot of money, because there are some people inside who own generators. I spoke with children who are 12 and 13 years old who told me that they haven't been to school in the past 4 years since the rebels first moved in on eastern Aleppo. And again, many tragic stories, many heartwarming stories, because we've seen families reuniting for the first time in years after the war has separated and divided these families. From the crossing point of Bab al-Hadid, Abraham, CCTV.